Hey guys, what's going on? Coach Luca here with the Padawan, Ben. Look at how serious he is. He's super serious right now. This camera work will be good for him. But we're gonna put Ben through a little bit of work. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today is something, Christian Thibodeau talks about this in his neurotyping, not only certification, but when he talks about neurotyping. And we've seen this a lot. Like, so we've been, been coaching people for 13 years inside of here in the gym in Victory Ground, 15 in Slovenia. And we come across clients that, for some reason, like I said, they may be fear-based. They don't want to put the weight, like they're scared of going up with weight, okay? And so the question started becoming, okay, like, well, how do we progress those clients without actually upping the weight? Now, so this might come into play in a lot of scenarios. You might be at home and not have weights to go up with. If you're, like, we're gonna do the squat today. We're gonna use the transformer bar from Kabuki, which I absolutely love. It's the best, I think, safety squat bar there is. But we're just gonna use this as an example. So maybe, you can't go up with weight because you don't have weight. But specifically, it's like, okay, somebody that wants to progress, not just tension and load, but get better results, get stronger, put on more muscle, but is afraid to put on more weight, right? And in neurotyping, this would be like a person that has fear around, like I said, going heavier. Eventually with time you do. So we're gonna do a couple of examples of how we progress this, either through the weeks. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a model here. So Ben's gonna start off just doing a regular, so let's say we just started squatting, we're really focusing on form. He's just doing a regular squat. Controlled down tempo, right? So a couple seconds down, depth, pushing through. Let's just do like 4 to 5 reps. He might be doing some work with this lighter weight today, right? Control, good. Row that bar a little bit more too. So imagine rowing, yeah, there you go. So row, keep that upper back tight. Good, let's go one more rep. And rack it up. All right, so this will be like our kind of normal tempo, right? Say control down, control up. So he's not dropping. We just want to, because remember, one of the best ways to I would say groove the squat is to slow it down, right? If people are just dropping down whoop, into a squat and they're shifting their hips and they're not staying tight, the best way to do it is slow down the tempo, right? Go super slow. It's actually going to groove the pattern. But let's say this is week 1, maybe even week 2, because what's one of the ways that you can progress a lift? Add more reps. So if he did, 6 reps in week 1, hey, you know what? He gets stronger neurologically. He goes to 7 reps week 2, 8 reps week 3. Okay, but then we still don't want to up the load. What do we do then? One of the first things that we do is we add pauses, okay? So the pause would be, so we're just gonna have Ben do 3 here, okay? So he's gonna go down. We're gonna do like a 1,001, 1,002. So we're gonna do a 2-second pause at the bottom, okay? So he's gonna come down, control, we're gonna go 1,001, 1,002. Usually I'll do, use touch sometimes, like when I let go, he'll come back up. All right, going down, control down, 1,001, 1,002. Back up, let's do one more rep. 1,001, 1,002. And rack it. Right, so now, we could progress that for weeks, to be honest with you. You can use it as a model of the things that I'm gonna show you, where week 1 is concentric, normal tempo. Week 2 is pause. Week 3, I'll show you what we got next. But the long pauses. Now, the thing is, what's so dope is that you can progress the pauses. He can go from 1,001, 1,002 to 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Like, you can progress the pauses to a lot of seconds. I wouldn't go necessarily past 10 here. We've played around with a lot of different stuff with success, but you can progress the time there. Number 3, we'd go add some eccentrics, right? So controlled down tempo. So we like that 3 to 5 second rep range, not second range on a down. Not saying we haven't done more. Like, we've done as much as 9 and 10 seconds, but 5 is a pretty good one. So let's do 3 reps at a 5-second eccentric, and we're gonna do a 1,001, 1,002 pause, right? So there we go. So we're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1,001, 1,002. Go. There we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1,001, 1,002. Nice, and he's pulling himself down, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1,001, 1,002. And rack it, nice. How does that feel, Ben?
Awesome.
Right, so the thing is, Ben can squat a lot more weight than this, obviously, but we're gonna start getting, a little spicy here. Stuff's gonna start getting hard for him, even though the load is not crazy, right? So now we added an eccentric, we added a negative portion here. At the end, I promise I'll wrap it up and give you a couple of different models that you could use to progress the same weight for weeks and weeks, months on end, okay? So we had our normal rep. Then we added an isometric at the bottom, okay? Then we added a eccentric, so a negative portion. We slowed that down, okay? Now I'm gonna show you another one called the quasi-isos, where he's gonna have a couple of stops on the way down. So he's gonna stop midway, so he's gonna go here, boom, 1001, control. He's gonna stop here, 1001, come back up, 1001, and then come up, right? And on top of that, we're gonna still keep it eccentric. So you're gonna go down, think about that 5-second tempo on the way down. All right, so 5, 4, stop, 1001, go 3, 2, 1, 1001, coming back up slow, 1, 2, stop, and 1, 2, all the way, and go. And we would try not to even like pause at the top, right? At the top, we kind of really quickly switch the transition, come back up, pause, boom, right, go. There we go. So it's keeping that constant tension, right? And stopping in that midline, and boom, and rack it, right? So we got another progression, same load, trust me. So let's say, you know, we kind of sticking with that 6 to 8 rep range. Imagine just the factors that we added right now. We added an isometric, then we added an eccentric, then we added the quasi-iso stops. Now all of a sudden, hoo-wee, right? And we can still add reps to this, right? This is where the progressive model really comes into play. Then from there, we can do something that like we like doing in weak links. Now remember, somebody's got to have obviously good mobility and stability for these things. You know, we're just taking a squat as an example. You could be doing this with double kettlebell squats, with a goblet squat, with a front squat, with a belt squat, with, you know, I mean, we could shift the squat as much as we want. We could elevate the heels if somebody doesn't have that great ankle dorsiflexion, right? Obviously we can manipulate this. But now we're going to go to 1.5 reps, okay? So same thing, this is kind of like we could go into quasi-iso with 1.5 reps. You can start combining these methods. But I'm going to just have Ben do 3. So he's going to do a control down. So we're going to do a 3/4 second down. But he's going to do this, he's not going to bounce out of it, right? I'm going to have him, at the end, I'm going to have him do a faster rep. But I actually want him to control this, right? So we're going to go down about 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down. Come up to my hand. Boom, back down. And back up, right? Let's go 2 more just like that. Control, pull yourself down, knees drop forward. Good, halfway. So he's keeping tension, right? He's not bouncing out because we want to keep that tension, especially when we have, like I said, lighter loads. We want to keep that tension. And break. Good. Quads burning yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah. Right, so now still, like I said, this is still the same load. So all the stuff that we took, let's give an example of how you could progress this exact same weight for somebody, right? And I'll give you guys 2 different examples how you could progress it. So let's say weeks 1 through 3, you're just trying to get an extra rep in. So week 1, he'd do 6 reps. Week 2, he'd get 7 reps. Week 3, he'd get 8 reps. And maybe sometimes you get stuck and you do a couple weeks of the same amount. That's okay. Then we go and add the isometric. And we do 6 reps with a 1001, 1002 pause. The next week we do 7. Then we do 8. Then the next 3 weeks we add an eccentric, right? And we start doing those 5-second eccentrics with the pause and coming back up, right? And we do that for 3 weeks. We're already at 9 weeks right now. Okay, then we add in the quasi-iso. We can do that for 3 weeks. And trust me, you can do it for longer than that. If you're a beginner, you can actually progress much longer than that. Even intermediates a lot of times can do really well with this model, right? We're at 12 weeks. At the end, if we start doing 1.5 reps, that takes us out 15, 16 weeks, for example, right? So that's one model where you can easily do it. Look, if your goal is progressive overload and results, there's one way to do it. Another way that you can do it is actually just going from week to week. So imagine that week 1, you do 6 reps, okay? Week 2, you still do 6 reps, but you just add in the pause. Week 3, you still do 6 reps, but you add in the eccentric, right? Week 4, you still do the 6 reps, but now you add in that quasi-iso. And then week 5, now you add a rep, and you go back to that same model. Make sense? Right? And we're doing all of this with the same load, right? And exchange the exercise. Like you could do a bench press. You could do a RDL. You could do lunges with this stuff, right? Like obviously some things change here. You can do different row variations. I mean, you name it, you can do it just about with anything, right? And this is a great way, like I said, for somebody that has a fear around, upping the weights for whatever reason. We're not going to dive into the psychology of that, although there can be a lot of reasons. There's actually ways to overcome that, and that might be a different video for another time. But this is a great way to do it. Number one, if you have somebody that's afraid of bumping up weights. Number two, if you don't have a lot of weights to go up with, but you want to find a progressive model for you to continue to get stronger, to continue to build muscle, and do it for a long, long period of time, that's it. So thanks to Ben for getting some extra time and attention here. And we'll see you with another episode of Coach's Corner, giving you some more tips. Peace out.